Hello, welcome to Freshtodeathcomics. I'm Amy.
And I'm B-Luke.
And we're sitting on different sides, so everything's thrown off today.
I guess that's the good news. The bad news is you guys won't know who I am over here. Hi, I'm Amy's. No, I don't know who I am.
Yes, so, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, Brian's face. If you saw our podcast last week, you know exactly what happened.
It's called Grief and Depression. This will go out for this podcast and for all podcasts. If you're on YouTube, there is 2 copies that get uploaded through the RSS feed. So this is going forth from here. And if you guys are watching this or listening to this, if you're watching this on YouTube and there's no video of us, you're in just the podcast episode. That's just an audio episode. That's how it goes from Spotify to Google's to Apple's. Now Google's has made it part of YouTube's, part of their podcast program. So that's why it always looks like I'm doing 2 episodes. So if you always see episode numbers, that's the podcast one. I'm going to try to put in the description or some. I can't change it because it would change all the feeds and then it would just mess with the algorithm of everything. Like you can't put podcast version on a podcast version. Like it's going to mess up.
Podcast version of the podcast version of the podcast version of Taylor's version of... So we got to talk about the half face.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure we got a full-sized episode of this lovely mug here because it's going to go away in about 45 minutes.
Oh, I'm so ready to get rid of it. But what's been the most interesting is Amy goes, I was ready as soon as we did the live episode on Thursday. I was going to cut it because I was like, 1 week of it, get rid of this because I am like, it's nice over here. Like, I hate this so much. But Amy says we have to do this podcast episode. So I said, okay. So I've been spending the week with this.
And guys, we've been places and done things.
I have forgotten and just gone to the store with Amy. No one has said anything. It's not till like a kid is like pointing like, Mom. And they're like, shh. And I like pulling away. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, oh gosh, I forgot. But no one says anything to me. The only person who said anything was Drew.
Yep.
Drew is the only one who is like, hey, B, what's up with your face? And I'm like, you haven't seen the podcast yet. And he goes, bro, I'm working a comic book shop. I can barely have time to eat some ramen. Like, I am going nonstop.
Yep.
That man is Alexander Hamilton.
He truly is.
Shops. Like,
truly.
Comic shops that are run by single owners. I'm trying to think. Corning, Heroes, Fat Cats. They have such a hard time because it's just them.
It's just
them.
They
can't really leave the store because you are the representative of the store.
Correct.
So it's just, it's very stressful and I get it. So Drew is the only one. He was like, what's up with your face when some customers left? And I was like, I'm trying to show, I was doing a podcast episode about grief and depression and how mental illness is like an invisible disease and how people don't really see it. And now taking a look on it, nobody cared that my face looked like this. Nobody questioned it, which makes it even more interesting in the fact that no one really cares that you're hurting and going through things. I guess that's the moral of the story, that the things you're going through are important to you. So you should just focus on that and stop listening to everybody going, hey, that's not a big problem, bro. Like, listen, I had it way worse. Like, just focus on your own. I think that's kind of what I've learned from this is nobody cares about you and you're the only person that can take care of yourself.
Can I offer an alternative opinion?
Go ahead. You were experiencing this as well.
Yes. Now I've gotten quite used to this after the first 2 days. I'll be real, but the first 2 days I was laughing my ass off constantly. However, is it that people don't care, or are we sensitive to it where we recognize that other people are going through things and they need space and grace? I'm just saying. Maybe it's not the absence of care. Maybe it's they see that you're suffering and don't want to
make
it worse.
Things. You know what? That is a fair criticism I did not think of.
Or is it that it's grief is relatable and we all experience it, and you see a man with half a shaved face and you're like, wow, that guy's going through something, is what I would think. So maybe that's what everybody's thinking.
Correct.
So that was just my 2 cents. I wanted to throw
I like that. I would rather like that theory. That's a better one than what I came up with.
Like everybody sucks, and I'm like,
no, like
what if it's everybody understands?
I like that so much better. That's so much better. Oh, we're going with that one. That is the one we're going to go with.
But leaving this whole part.
Oh, we are leaving the whole part because we discovered this. We had my perspective of, grief and depression. Grief and depression means you're all by yourself because you're depressed. Yep. And you think no one else cares. I exampled depression.
You were exampling
in live action. All right.
You were the podcast version of the podcast version of the podcast version of yourself.
And that's what we call a cold open. I'm the Bucket King. I'm the Bucket King. Look at me. I'm the KFC Bucket King. The Bucket King.
It's a KFC. My mouth got hurty, and now I hang out with her food doggy. Let's get down to business to discuss Big Brother. Big Brother! You got to say it like WWE.
There's a different growl.
Big Brother! The beer belch helps in this scenario.
So, I guess we should start at the beginning. Noises are very loud during the summertime. I pass out. I have seizures. It gets very bad. I will say, when we first started this, if you look back on old podcasts, you'll see my restraining order episode, and my neighbor was mowing the lawn like every other day. I had a conversation with her friend, boyfriend, husband, brother. I don't know who this man is. I don't really care. Had a conversation with him during the winter. I was shoveling or I was doing something outside, and we had a conversation about my head injury and what happens and stuff. And I have to say, this year they have been especially nice.
Yes.
If they're listening to this podcast, you guys have been really. I know you're doing things. You're doing gardening things. I'm not, but you have been very gracious. And she doesn't start till like noon most of the time.
Yeah. Like
she gives me time to kind of prepare and get ready. Mm-hmm. And, maybe she changed, and it's making me better. It's making the community better. Yeah. I don't know. But during that time, I had headphones on, and I needed something I could watch. And then if I passed out and woke up, it would be okay because nothing really happened. And I was watching the TikToks, and I had just got done with Fish Tank.
Oh, yeah.
With Airsoft Fatty. And
that was
kind of in that mood of people living in houses and, how things would progress if there was challenges and games. And I told Amy about this. We should do this where people get into a house and they have to live together and there's challenges. And Amy literally goes, she starts laughing and goes, "You're describing Big Brother." And I was like, the reality show? And she goes, "Yeah." So I start watching it. Amy's like,
Season 1.
So I'm watching it. I don't know how far we get.
The year 2000.
Amy is coming. No, before that.
It was 99?
Yeah, because the second episode with Danielle. Yeah, the second season is with Will and Danielle. That's when the trade center
Will
happened.
and Monica and Nicole.
Yeah, that's when the trade center.
Yes.
So I guess
and that
you were
was
right.
The year 2000, because season 2 is when everything changed for that show.
So yeah, we'll get there. So I was like, Amy, what's Big Brother? And you're like, I don't want to watch this. I worked at a CBS network. You were freaking out on me.
3 different employment times.
And you were done with it. So you would come up for like lunch, or you'd come in to sit down because you needed a break, and you're just like, do what you're gonna do. I'm just here charging my phone or whatever. And as it got on, the challenge is what seemed to have gotten you.
Mm-hmm. I like games and I like gameplay. I like knowing what the rules are and strategizing. And that's what got me. And what got him was the drama. The TNT. He knows drama.
Well, I like the game aspect, but the fact that the game aspect also serves as the drama aspect, I really like that. And I've tried watching Survivor, but the difference between Survivor and Big Brother is like Survivor, only one person is immune. Why Big Brother, one person rules the house and they choose like 2 people for eviction.
Yes.
So,
it's more social in the gameplay. I just really love a challenge. I thought that the concept of head of household, putting someone up on the block, what ramifications, what long-term games would then have to be played or then have to be changed because of one person going home. That could be from your alliance, that could be from somebody else's alliance. Like, so much can change in that house from week to week.
And what's interesting is we were watching the live broadcast of what was actually happening, and things are so much different than they were in the first season, where I feel like people who are like, what's Big Brother? What are you guys doing like this week? Like, you guys are live a lot, and I know nothing about Big Brother. And I got to go all the way back like 2 decades.
Yeah, it is overwhelming. We're insane, so we like to binge things.
You don't have to do that, because all you got to know about Big Brother is they're a group of people who want to win money, and they all live in a house together.
And they're 3 months.
And they're all trying to get each other out of the house.
One at a time.
Why do they still protect themselves? And there's lying, there is backstabbing, there is
alliances, there's broken promises, there's stupider alliances, backdooring people.
And on top of that, there's a thing in the Big Brother called expect the unexpected. What that means is the producers also have a hand in influencing the game. I think we all know that at this point. It's not a secret. It's part of the gameplay that the producers are strictly doing things to aggravate, to entice, to get ratings. They are part of the game. They essentially are a character.
Yes.
Because, like, I'm sorry, but this season, for example, when they're trying to choose powers or what are they called? Enemies? Powers and...
a power and a punishment.
Powers and punishment, and they hit the button. It's not random. It's not. They are specifically choosing what that person gets based on, I think, how they think they would use it as a gameplay.
Yes.
For drama.
Or like what, for example, Angela rolling around in an egg suit for a week.
So, with Big Brother... There's challenges, there's a social aspect. So with the challenges hold power. So for example, every Sunday, well, it's Sunday for us. I don't know when it is for them. We're talking strictly the show. The live feeds are something different.
Yes, the first show of the calendar week is the new week. So every new week, you have to have a head of household. That is determined through a head of household competition, which could be a variety of things. There's puzzles, there's races, there's physical challenges, there's memory comps.
But as the seasons have gone on, there are certain challenges that have stayed. Like, for example, Hot Ones, if you're a fan of that, the bomb is never going away.
Yeah.
There are certain challenges in Big Brother, like we're always going to see, like last week we saw the wall challenge.
The famous wall, the endurance comp.
In a couple of weeks, we're going to get, it's called the BB comic.
Which we're very excited because comics.
And they have to do it's usually some kind of zip line, and they have to memorize what the difference between two covers are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those, what do you call those? Like the highlight pictures where they're like, what's the
spot the difference?
Yeah, like there's a hat in this one and there's not in that one.
Correct.
I hated those.
Yes.
So,
but like,
that's what they are. That's what the challenges are. And I love that one because I feel like I would have fun.
Yes. Or OTEV.
Which, no, that's a different challenge.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is, so
I
guess we'll talk about that.
Veto.
So whoever wins the head of household then proceeds to nominate people to get kicked out of the house. So basically, whoever is the boss of the house chooses two people, but now in the new seasons, we've added a third person, which is going to be from here on out. So let's just say this many people.
3 people for eviction.
Those people are going to get kicked out of the house. It is inevitable. Someone is going to go home out of that group.
Correct.
To make it fair, because as the seasons went, there were things of like, oh, we'll put 2 people up and just vote out the other person because we have enough numbers. So what they did, because people were deciding whether or not, so what they did is they created a brand new challenge called
the veto. The power of veto, or referred to as POV. Everyone who is on the block and nominated for eviction that week will play in the veto, as does the head of household. Usually there is a drawing of additional names to play for veto, but usually for a majority of the season, it is just that group of people plus bonus players.
It's usually picked out of randomness, and those people are just random. Hopefully they want to save you, but they may be working for the other side of the house. So like sometimes you get your choice and you're like, Amy, I'm going to choose you. And Amy's like, yo, I've been waiting to vote Brian out all season.
So
I'm going to win the point. I'm going to win the POV, not use it and send Brian home.
Yep.
Like it becomes a lot of backstabbing.
Yes. And social play. So after the power of veto and a winner is announced, that player or whoever won, they have a ceremony. They will say if they are going to use the veto, and if they are not, if they use the power of veto to take someone off of the block, the head of household then has to name a renomination.
So a lot of times they go, hey, I'll win the veto and take you down and put someone else up because they're my real target. But there's a thing in Big Brother called pawns go home, which means all of a sudden the house may turn and go, really Brian's kind of the best guy to get out. Maybe we shouldn't change the veto. Let's send him home.
Yeah, and it could all go like this. Brian's not really doing his dishes, and I'm really tired of cleaning up after him. He's just floating to the end. Just get him out now. And this is where it gets more social. After the veto, we have the live eviction.
And in the past, so there's 2 different streams. There's a live stream footage that happens nonstop. I've tried watching it, but there's only so much I can watch of someone just going, yo, do you ever think about, like, how we could backdoor Britney if we won HOH. That would be so cool.
Or spend 2 hours watching Morgan create a charcuterie board and try to talk to Keanu when she already knew what she was going to do.
Because as I was watching the live feeds my first year, it was already spoiled to me by the live eviction that this character, Hasem, was going to go home because they backdoored him, didn't realize he was being backdoored till the last second, and spent 2 days on a bike. Just so sad. It was so boring. The entertainment was not good. So they decided to now add something called the BB Blockbuster,
which is played on live eviction nights. This is your last chance to take yourself off the block if you are on the block. Usually, because it is a live show, it will be something short. I've told Brian before, when we're in a live show, it's got to be short, concise, and there's got to be a clear winner. That is usually what the Blockbuster will do. Now, after the Blockbuster, Julie announces who won. That person is then taken off the block. It is down to those 2 people.
One of those 2 people will be going home on Thursday.
And that's why it's important for everybody to play their social game throughout the week. Because anybody could be up on that block at the end of the day.
Correct. So, like, for example, the week that we're recording this, Chuck just got evicted.
Yes.
It's the stupidest reasons. When there's like 10, there's like 100 people in the house, you have to figure out like, oh, this person's going home. So like last season, we were choosing someone going home because they took showers too long. This one here is because this guy had a little bit of sweat on him. He didn't shower properly, which
had some stank on him.
I am so curious about this because I have recently discovered that men do not wash their legs. Like, we were having a conversation about this, and you asked me, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I asked you, do you wash your legs? And you're like, what?
Like
do people not?
Do you want me to tell you the order I wash my legs?
But also, I've seen you shower so many times. So, like, I know what your process is.
And I'm just like, how does people not wash their legs?
Right.
Like, I don't understand it. Like, so all I'm thinking of, if he's not washing his legs, he's probably not washing between his legs.
Correct.
And that's where a lot of the stink would come from. And he wears very, very short shorts. So if he's wearing very, very short shorts, and the way he sits, he man spreads, that scent is just spreading.
Wafting.
So I guess this is a good example. If you're a man and love to work out, if you're very sweaty, keep track of your body odor. And guys,
clean your junk.
Maybe we need to be more honest as men. If a man's smelling, we got to be like, yo, bro, you smell like girls are not gonna want to be next to you, bro.
Or anybody.
Yeah, but it's mostly for girls. Like, we're trying to impress girls. That is our main mission. We want girls to like us. That is the main mission. I know we're in a relationship. I still want girls to like me. Like, I don't want girls not liking me because that goes around the network. And then all of a sudden, it comes back to you.
Smells.
And all of a sudden, you've got the whole girl army behind you going, hey, Aim, we have received that you are dating one of the admin. You must leave him at once. And you're like, well, the council said so, Brian. I got to do it. Yeah. That is my fear.
Anyways, to bring this back to Big Brother is to say that your social game is equally important. That it is equally important as your ability to compete. Because once it gets to those quick second decisions, you're going to vote out the stinky guy. Or the guy that doesn't clean up after himself. Or doesn't get all the hair out of the shower.
Or doesn't do laundry, or sits around all day, who sleeps. As it gets later on, I think like halfway through, all of a sudden it comes down to like, yo, I think that person's lying to me. I don't think I can trust them. they lied about that vote. How can I trust them here? And things gets real intense. So that's why I thought maybe we should talk about Big Brother.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter who the players are, essentially. Like, you can jump in on that week and the characters are kind of one-dimensional, if you will. Like, we have a frat boy. We've got a muscle. I want to say...
We had a cowboy.
Like a macho man, like a wrestler kind of thing.
Yeah, a fighter, a boxer.
Like... You kind of have the demographic of like all of America, I feel, inside of one house. And I really love when conversations arise that you really have to think about like real world complications and what they really mean. Like, certain words really do hurt no matter who says them. So like in Big Brother, they had to make certain words banned in the house.
Yes.
Because people were using them willy-nilly. And they were like, no.
You can't say that.
Those are hate slurs. You can't say it. Like, there was this old guy, Jerry, and he was saying the worst slurs about homosexuals.
Yeah. And remember, this was early 2000s, so...
Correct. Gay marriage was not legal. Churches were doing the mass... abomination sermons. We had a lot of conversion therapy churches, camps that there was going on for them. So this was that time where that word was just a word that we used. Like, I know I used it for my friends. I used it as a joke word. So as I've gotten older and known more of the LGBTQIA plus community, I'm like, oh, words are words. Like, sticks and stones may break my bones is the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard, because actually words are way worse. I would rather get hit by sticks and stones. Throw sticks and stones at me instead of words. Like, you are the meanest person to yourself. Like, the things that come out of her mouth, I'm like, be nice to my friend. Like, I have never heard someone degrade themselves so much than you. Like, it's...
I feel called out right now.
Well, that's all right. We get TikTok notifications because I'll be doing something and I'll start talking about myself. And it goes, you are getting bullying harassment. I'm like, why? And I was like, oh, I was calling myself these names. It thinks I'm bullying, but I'm really just bullying myself. The TikTok's basically like, be nice. So we're streaming every week. We're going to do all of Big Brother. So this is a perfect time just to jump in, no matter when you're listening.
Correct. Currently, we're about our first month in. This is going to start a new week here soon. You're going to be able to jump in and enjoy the rest of the summer with us because it gets pretty outrageous.
It's only going to get more wild from here. So the challenges that happen. There's a robot that comes to roast you. That's who we're waiting for. His name is Zingbot. Zingbot's my favorite. We do have a Discord. I am working on streaming it, but I can't do it on any of these networks because it's so interesting, because I could under the U.S. state laws of streaming and DMC laws. Correct. But because TikTok and YouTube and all of them have their own rules of broadcasting, I'm violating their laws. And because they're a private business, they can.
Correct.
And it's so interesting.
So all of this to say, no, we will not be showing the stream. We'll talk to you while we watch the stream, though.
You can hear the stream. You can watch it with us.
You can watch us make fun of the stream.
Like, we get heated. So that's Big Brother. We invite you to watch it with us. It's a lot of fun.
That's the foundation of it. There's other rules. Other seasons have different twists and turns, but that's the basic foundation.
Like, you don't have to know anything. Just jump in. Know it's games. Know it's people lying to each other. Know they're in a house together where drama's gonna ensue. Like, farts are a thing.
Or stanky shits.
Yeah, like people get roasted for like the smallest thing. Like if you sit down and you break a sink, there is no coming back from that. None.
Angela.
So, with that, let's talk about some comic books.
Yes.
So the new season of Fortnite is coming upon us.
Yes.
We just got our first trailer. There's video games involved. We've got Mega Man. We've got Street Fighter. There's other ones that I don't know. I think it's like Persona is part of it. But
Tetris?
I don't know how they're going to do that.
I don't know how either.
But my favorite thing is Sonic. And I know you said it, is why are their legs super long? There's a book called Sonic X Fortnite. So is it Sonic and Fortnite or Sonic X?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce that. But Sonic and Fortnite have a crossover book and they explain it. Basically, it's a whole story about how Sonic ends up in the Fortnite universe, why his arms get bigger, and there's a lot with the Chaos Emerald, and Knuckles is involved, and Shadow, so I believe that they're going to be characters you can buy. I don't know if this comic is going to come with a digital code or not. That's something I'm going to be looking for, because it might be a special Sonic item.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes peeled
for that. Or like
an
emote. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
I want a Shadow emote. That would be great. Thanks, Fortnite.
Let's talk some Power Rangers, because I love me some Power Rangers.
What? You do?
Let's talk about Power Rangers Green. Came out as a new #1. I was very excited. I even said to someone on Facebook, I said, I'm excited. Why are you putting this down? We haven't even read it yet. It's Tommy on a solo mission. Like, where are the rest of the Rangers? He's on like a deserted island trapped. Oh my God, this is the worst book I've ever read. This is so bad.
Person on TikTok. You were right.
You were right, dude. Like, this was terrible. The art is horrendous. Like, Goldar's face just... I don't know. It just looks so goofy and weird. Like, it's almost like a Disney animation. And I hated that, but maybe that's what they were trying to go for, because Disney was doing a new series on Power Rangers, but they just canceled it because Matt Damon is doing a story about characters that turn into multicolored characters and fight kaiju monsters. So they're like, that's too close to Power Rangers. We can't do it. I'm like, but you are Power Rangers. This is what your IP is. They should be suing you. Like, this is your concept. Jeez. Unless you sold that right to Matt Damon. And that's why you're like, oh, we sold the rights to Matt Damon for this project because that will pay us more than the Disney series. That's probably what happened. But I think it's silly and weird and not a fan of it. So, Power Rangers Green, skip. It's a death book.
But why is it bad?
Story. It's terrible. We're not going anywhere in it. He's just walking around. He's not a Power Ranger. He has some weird robots that we don't know who they are. It's not Power Rangers. I don't know what this is.
It's Tommy Ranger.
But it's not even Tommy Ranger. It's just Man-Trap
Tommy having a walkabout.
It's No Man's Sky, the comic book version.
But with this version of Alpha giving the most flowery, detailed explanation of every scene ever.
It was so annoying.
He did the talking for 2 characters, which is true because one of them is deaf and does not speak.
That is true.
But that space didn't need to be filled. I think less words. Why more words when less words better?
So I didn't like that. But Power Rangers Unlimited also came out.
Yeah.
Now that is the book to get. Issue 2. Also a banger. We've got even more teams. I said to Amos, I don't want to spoil it for you, but you probably want to read this. And you're like, okay, like, I'm reading so much, but if you're saying to, I will. Because you usually like to stack up and read like a whole bunch at once.
I'm a binge reader, yes.
So you read it. Did you skip to the part I was talking about?
There's so many parts, though. All of them were good. But yes, once we saw Corone
and
Andros
and
Kendall.
Yeah, you love Kendall.
I like Kendall. I think every Purple Ranger story should be an RJ story, but Kendall, great Purple Power Ranger.
Kendall.
I really like Kendall, but RJ is my favorite. So this is like number 1B.
But like everyone was there. Like
the
Time Force Ranger was there.
Sky was there.
Also, he's gonna be at Flower City Comic Con at Rochester, New York.
Yes.
So I was thinking, like, man, that would be so cool to meet him. Like, especially reading the book.
Yeah.
Like, they are doing such a fantastic job of each Ranger with their own personality, with their own how they were written as that character. It is phenomenal. It is great. It makes me feel like it's that character. Unlike Power Rangers Green, where that is not the way JDF talks. That's not who Tommy is. Like this, that is not a Power Ranger book. Power Rangers Unlimited is. All right, Amy.
Yes.
I have been out of comics for a little bit. We've talked about it, but every year they have a big giant event. Mm-hmm. That event is made to merge and kind of get everybody on the same jumping on point so that way we can all continue together.
Gotcha.
So the Queen in Black, you're supposed to read it. It'll give you kind of all the information you know and go forward. So the story is, and they do a really good job. They tell the story of Null and where he's been. We get why Hela is the King in Black. They explain all the Venoms, and in the issue 1, everyone finally learns who the one spider person is. It's Dylan. And they're like, Dylan's here. What's he doing? Who is Eddie Brock's son. So it's and then Tony Stark and Mary Jane Watson dated many, many years ago, so they were engaged. They were very intimate because Tony Stark's Tony Stark. And Venom goes, listen, Tony, we have to talk. He goes, I'm not listening to a Venom. I can't trust you. You're awful. I'm not doing anything. And he goes, Tony, you're going to want to trust me. I'm a friend. You're a Venom. You're going to hurt people. I know what Venoms do. And she goes, fine, Tony. And she reveals that Venom is now Mary Jane Watson. So it was just very good to get kind of caught up. And issue 1 and 2 kind of are just building up this event and what's going on. So nothing has happened. It's just kind of like, I feel like if you have been reading all these books for a while, maybe you would be bored with these issues being like, I know all these things already. But for me, it's a nice little catch up, but I can understand it. Speaking of catching up, Miles Morales got a new number 1.
Yes.
That book is amazing. It's everything like... New number 1s are supposed to jump you in and get you to a point of being like, oh, I can jump into Miles, know what's happening, read this story, and be okay. I shouldn't be confused. I shouldn't go, who, what, where, how? And that's what we do. We're starting off, it seems like a brand new semester at Miles' school. There's a brand new girl that he likes. I really pray she doesn't have superpowers because I'm kind of sick of that with the Miles story. I hope she's just a regular girl who's just not superpowered. That'd be cool. But there's this whole story with his dad and his uncle because I really love his uncle. His uncle is played by Donald Glover in the movies, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But Miles it's just a really nice story of just Miles being a kid and just trying to live life as Spider-Man and a teenager. All the Spider-Gwen and Spider-Numbers come to him and say, listen, we got some baddies in the in the Slider universe, a couple universes over, really bad guy. We're going to take him down, you in. And he goes, no, I'm tired of dimension hopping. I'm just a kid. I'm in high school. I just kind of want to be a high schooler. I want to do this. So that's kind of what this is him trying to find who he is.
Yeah.
And I kind of really like that. It's really special.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you're picking that up, you should definitely. If you haven't picked that up, you definitely should, because I think this series is gonna do very well. I like it.
Awesome. Well, now I've got some recommendations to read this week.
All right. So with that, I think we've talked enough for you guys' ears. Let's give you guys a break. Remember, join us every Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday for Big Brother. We're also doing gaming. We're calling it Amy Gaming because Amy Can't Game is getting blocked in certain places because I guess it might be mean to you. Or Girls Can't
Game, yeah.
We're doing. And
but that's kind of why I wanted to call it that.
So now it's called Amy Gaming. Amy Gaming something.
We'll come up with something better.
But right now, that's what we're doing because Amy... So many people, like, Amy, no one taught Amy how to play video games. And I sat down because I was like, play this game with me. And you're like, I don't know how. And then we play and you die. And then you just run out of the room going, I suck. I died. Ah! I'm like, and you got, like, just keep playing. And you just didn't understand some of the concepts. Like, you don't realize some of the basic games that we've grown up with Mario and Pokemon and Final Fantasy, that we have this core base of how to do gaming, and you've got none of that. So, like, going into some of these games, you just are like, I don't understand it. Like Halo.
I was like, what the
First person point of view. Guns, you can't, you could run in that one. But, like, your buttons are changing. You are just very confused. So I said, I'm going to help you. And you've been doing so well. And so we've been playing with my brother and his friends, and they kept on, like, ripping every time my sister and Amy would play and be like, oh, the girls are playing. They stink. Like, and then when the girls were beating us, they would just be like, they're cheating. They probably have this setting up. Like, they're probably internet's better. Like, it was no way a woman could beat them. And it just irritated them to the point where Amy lost it because I was away. I was like, Amy, can you play for me real fast? And so she's on there with the headset, and they're just blasting women, like just making fun of them, saying some of the most awful things about all kinds of people. Like my friend, I have a friend. He is dating a trans person. And he jumped into my life one day and I was so embarrassed that he was there because I heard what they were saying. And I'm like, I don't want to be in a group where my friends jump in and then hear this terrible language coming out of my friends' mouths. We're supposed to be Christian, but you know. It's
my favorite part was always hearing them rip on women while Brian was like, hey, I gotta pee. Just stay alive. And I'm like, all right, I know how to do that. While they're openly ripping me, and I am reviving them. So suck on that, guys.
Yeah, they were talking how terrible Amy was and how she's not great at
And then they go, oh, thanks, Brian. Like, thank you so much for reviving me, is what I heard.
Yeah, you came in clutch.
Yeah.
So we started Amy Gaming to kind of prove a point that girls can game just as well as boys, if not better, because their attention to details is really on key. Like, I get distracted a lot, and they're like, there's the bad guy, he's right there, and I'm like, where? I'm just running around.
I'm like, where's the loot? No, that's me.
So that's us. If you want to catch us, we're on live. Blukephenomenon on Twitch, Freshtodeathcomics on YouTube and TikTok. So catch us there. We love your faces.
And we'll see you in all the places.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody. Bye.